Does anyone know who proposed this for this UDS?
Probably. I don't think it was him himself. I mean, I doubt he has a lot of interest in the specific packet we use. Yeah. That's good stuff. Well, I mean, there's still some interesting stuff to talk about. So Packagekit got support for DevConf now, so for DevConf questions. This was historically one of the biggest blockers that we had. If this had been an issue, we probably would have used Packagekit a long time ago. But it wasn't possible. Now there is a DevConf support for KDE for the Packagekit, support for the console front end of Packagekit and for GNOME is still missing. But now it's not impossible. Now it's just a matter of somebody needs to go and implement it. So that's good news for us. The other news that was not on the table in the past is that there is a new project called App Install, which is similar to what we do with the App Install package. So it is, as far as I understand it, I haven't looked in detail, but as far as I understand it, it's basically a database dump of the content of all the desktop files in Fedora or in any other distribution that supports this kind of format. And currently there seems to be some backend code, but not that much front-end code yet. So it would be a logical step to support this data format in Software Center as an additional database provider. Equally, Packagekit would be it would be a backend to install packages. We wouldn't use the dbus API to query for packages. We would just use the database. And I would like, in this cycle, I would like to see Packagekit at least as an additional backend, optional. And we should also start a dialogue with other distributions, because I know that there is some interest in other distributions to have something similar to Software Center, or the broad idea of an application installer is appealing to other distributions as well. So that's my kind of introduction. Any specific thoughts or ideas?
You still use the session API, is that correct?
Use the system API.
Okay.
So in Maverick we have the session installer installed. So we provide a Packagekit compatible API on dbus for GNOME to use. So if tools like Bracero can't find CERDAO, like binary that it uses, it will request via dbus to install this binary, and we have the session installer which will use the command and found database in order to find the binary package that this executable is part of, and it will just install it. This just works now. I mean, we provide on average a fully, as far as we can, Packagekit session API, compatible API, based on AppDaemon, because AppDaemon supports DevConf and configuration platforms.
So is there what specifically would improve if we switch to Packagekit?
So for Ubuntu, nothing would improve. It would just be a way to promote collaboration between, it would be a way to promote collaboration. Currently, Software Center only runs on Ubuntu and Debian. This would open up the door to make it run on OpenSUSE, Fedora, and any backend that Packagekit provides. Packagekit is really nice when it has a lot of buy-in from a lot of different distributions.
Is there a lot of effort invested in maintaining AppDaemon, or is it just
AppDaemon? So the AppDaemon upstream is tremendously helpful. I mean, Software Center wouldn't be what it is without
The purchase process, for example, would be a lot scarier if it hadn't been for his one-day turnaround on things we needed to fix.
Yeah, so yeah, the code is very nice. It's very clean and it's relatively small. This is a benefit of having just providing a net backend, because then it's much simpler code. It's all written in Python. It's inspired by twisted and deferred methods. So yeah, it just runs on linear-based distributions. So this is the limitation.
How much work do you think adding a software packagekit backend to software center? Is it just different divas needing to call, basically?
I don't think it's a huge amount of work, because we abstract away most of the calls. Some of the stuff would not work, like the add-ons screen we provide is currently based on the data we get from app. It's not impossible to fix it, and probably not even hard, but we don't have good abstractions for this. And this is another benefit of having a packagekit-based backend, because it would force us to have proper abstractions in place right from the beginning.
So I just want to point out that the packagekit backend will really make it easier for all distributions like Betsy to adopt the software center. And right now we're looking at it, and one of the main issues is the fact that it's a bit Debian-centric in the way it works.
What packagekit is?
Sorry?
You mean packagekit is?
No, software center.
Right.
The packagekit backend that would improve things like really vastly.
Yeah, basically our abstractions, and because we're not really forced to have them, it's so easy to just leak in.
It's always the way it works. You need to add other backends to really.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to review the other points that came up last time we discussed this. You mentioned that the div conf is now implemented. Missing config file conflict handling.
It's still not available, but it's not such a big deal for applications like the software center. It's not such a big deal. It would be a problem if we wanted to use update manager, because in this context configuration files are more important. But for software center, I don't think it's a huge issue. And there seems to be a general trend towards stuff like UCF that asks configuration file questions.
What's UCF?
It's universal configuration file fixer, whatever. It's a way to express configuration file changes outside of in such a way that it utilizes that config basically. And it has other nice properties like three-way merges, but the important one is for us that there seems to be a trend towards using that conf for this kind of interaction.
For some reason, it would takes about 5 seconds to switch windows on.
It's not ideal.
No.
Or is it necessity?
So testing. Simple privilege system. There isn't any way to require removal privileges if an installation or update requires it.
I don't know about this one.
Don't know what that means either.
Was it a package?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because Ubuntu use it, so they've been fixing it as well.
Yeah.
Path says here that Python API is out of date. Is that correct?
But we probably will not have to use the Python API, we'll just talks like debug. I imagine. I mean, it's, because we only need a subset of it. Like we only need, like, you know, reload cache, insert package, remove package. A lot of the stuff that the querying capabilities basically we will probably just not use or not need. Right.
What else to say here?
What was the big one?
Packagekit glib is rewritten as Packagekit glib 2. Update. PostGit 1 supporting KDE, that's fixed, right? Software center specific showstoppers. Slow communication means we'd only use it for installation removal and not as a general replacement for Python app. Is that still true?
Yeah, to a certain extent. So we would probably use the app install database. So right now we have a database abstraction that talks to Zapier, and for this project we would have to either make as a first step, it doesn't matter much, but as a second step we would talk to this app install database and just provide a compatible interface for software center. That's, it looks doable.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
over there.
thanks on IRC, thanks to IRC. Right.
To John the Aiken then. Right, and so we wouldn't use Packagekit for searches, for example.
Right, we would search the database directly in order to make it fast.
Okay. Only sequential transactions. Querying and modifying is queued in the same queue, so long taking updates can block a simple query for quite a long time. Is that related to the point where we wouldn't use Packagekit for queries at all?
It's related. There is, yeah, as far as I know at least, somebody's actually working on making this go away so that you can have multiple transactions running in parallel. And then we can use gradually more features of Packagekit.
So, let's say for example somebody wants to improve the case where you're installing multiple programs at the same time. For example, this morning I was installing all the Ubuntu video editors to see if any of them are good, and each of them had to wait for the previous one to install before it would even download. Let's say we wanted to fix that.
This is a backend issue basically. Whatever we use, if it's Packagekit or even we would have to make the backend understand that it's okay. Like it's basically a problem we need to solve at the app level, because app is currently logging in the lists directory where it downloads to. So we would have to find a way to make sure that. I mean, technically it's kind of straightforward. We just need to solve a bunch of issues around it. And with this app especially, it is more straightforward than it was in the past. I mean, solving it directly in libApp is kind of complicated, but solving it at the app daemon level is probably more doable. But it doesn't matter.
Easier or worse than fixing it in Packagekit? Or
it doesn't matter. Fixing it in a level above libApp itself is easier, and if that level is Packagekit or app daemon, I don't think matters that much.
Okay. Advantages of Packagekit. Only one package management abstraction level to maintain. How many and what kind of applications are currently expecting Packagekit to be present? Anyway,
more and more with the GNOME are starting to the session, I think, which can give a good experience within the individual applications for installing codecs, fonts, that sort of thing. But that's the session API, the system API.
So, for example, if you're installing a codec from within a media player that uses Packagekit, and while it's downloading, you go into Windows Service Center and you try to install something, what happens?
Well, it doesn't use Packagekit right now. It uses the Packagekit API, which we currently provide for session installer, which backends with the app even. So it seems to work nicely.
Wow, that's quite never played. All right.
So it all works now, and because they're using that session API, it doesn't really matter. Like, we're providing a compatible API, which is the right length of splitting that, but there's just there's a possible future cost to that in that if changes will have to be done in two places. Changes will have to be replicated from Packagekit if the API changes into sessions or even. I'm not sure how much of a cost that.
Yeah, it's not a massive cost because if features are added, then we need to implement we need to implement parts, lots, some of the feature in the backend anyway. Like for example, install by file, we need to add this to the backend. And I mean, if we add it to the Packagekit backend or to the Active backend, it doesn't matter that much. But, I mean, obviously it's better to have just one implementation than you have two. So, I mean, there's a value in having one. Because KDE will do the work. So there is application of that here.
But there's not that much actually depending on Packagekit.
So, explain to me something that might not be entirely relevant to this session, but I can't tell whether it is or not. When Sebastian Hanley, who maintains AppDemon, is proposing a session installer API, why does that exist and Packagekit API exist?
The API is the same, isn't it? It's just a session installer is an implementation of the Packagekit API.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for explaining it. Sorry, I don't Advantages of Packagekit provides session API, okay. Advantages of AppDemon, this is from the blueprint. Slick approach, it's kind of subjective. Only focusing on doing the work which requires root privileges with a small code base. Is that still true?
That's true. It is a difference. Like, Packagekit tries to abstract everything. AppDemon just tries to abstract the stuff that you would do as root. Basically, installing, removing, upgrading. So that makes the code base much smaller and much easier to work with. Basically.
So Packagekit code base is larger because it covers everything, whereas AppDemon.
Search is going through the back end with Packagekit, I know. When you do search, Packagekit goes through the back end.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really slow, that's not much.
Right, so you mentioned speed. If we switched, would Windows Software Center get faster or slower, and by how much?
It would stay the same because we wouldn't use this part of Packagekit. We would still use some sort of database that we talk to directly.
Sorry, I wasn't talking about searches there, I was talking about installation and removal.
Alright, it would be the same because the limiting factor here is depackaging disk down low and network speed, and not like if it takes 200 milliseconds for a dbus round trip in the grand scheme of downloading and installing, it just doesn't matter.
Okay.
And we have a dbus call cost anyway. Talking to FTPs. Media change support is an interesting one. It's the next point. I'm not sure if Packagekit actually supports stuff like CD-ROM changes, like that you need to insert a new CD-ROM in order to, or that you need to insert a CD-ROM at all. But somebody just needs to check if that's possible. I guess it is because I imagine that other distributions have this problem that they support multiple CPU runs or multiple UDs.
You're looking at me because I'm not been listening.
No, okay. Listen, I was wondering if Packagekit supports the notion of like CD-ROM media, like that you have to install a CD in order to continue your installation.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It was an issue in the past. I'm not sure if it's solved or not. Yeah.
I could check, but that would be probably backend specific.
Right.
And let me check.
Thanks.
The next point was we do need to fork Packagekit or wait for upstream consensus before fixing UX problems that require an API change, and also maintaining our apps for app dev. And those two are still true, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, especially for the purchase stuff. I mean, figuring out what approach to take for having kind of private or distro-specific extensions to Packagekit is an interesting point.
Whereas that's, I think it's a sort of problem for everyone, right? Like the app purchase stuff didn't go into, I don't think it went into upstream, right?
Well, so for even what we actually got is a way to, so the actual purchase process we distro patched, but most of the supporting code is upstream because like installing from a private repository where you have to provide a password is not a, it's a feature that is of general usefulness. Just some specific bits of our experiences.
Did you see the comments now?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. That is good for that.
Okay. So
It should
just,
work.
yeah, we just assume it will work. All right. Thanks again.
What's the KDE experience of Packagekit been like?
You get one to be with
Is there using it at the moment, aren't
They do.
People were very pleased with it to start with.
it was when I click on the round window. Another feature making its way into Packagekit, which I think is a good reason for its inclusion, is the ability to install updates at boot. Do we have anything like that?
Well, I mean, that is
Or
more a feature of, it's not like we could install this at root now if we wanted to. It's not, I don't see why or how this is specific to Packagekit or not.
okay, so it's not an advantage or a disadvantage.
I can't see why. I mean,
Okay. So the advantages I see of switching to Packagekit that it would help Ubuntu Surface Center be ported to SUSE and Fedora and other non-deb systems. think that's the only one we covered this one, unless the dual APIs is one. Is there a problem of having two separate APIs for installing things like daemon versus page?
It's just the application of code in that way, but there's no technical.
The disadvantages of switching that we would need to put in a little bit of effort into re-architecting the add-on screen, add-ons section of the software item screen. We need to spend a bit of time on file conflict handling. For those
That's unlikely to happen. So file conflict handling, we will just not be able to make work. We will just use either the old one or the new one. We just need to pick one.
the old one.
Like the old configuration file. If there was a configuration file prompt, we would have to decide for the user in advance. Like either say we keep using the old one, or we always install a new one.
Okay, so so right now we have the dialog for that.
Right.
Okay,
That
and you
was-
say we okay.
We could have a dialogue after the upgrade saying these files you may want to inspect, but it wouldn't be during the transaction.
Okay. Unless you read something called UCF.
Right.
All right. The package code base would be larger. Larger than the app daemon code base. Right. Okay, so that's I guess increases the difficulty a little bit when trying to implement anything that uses it. And we don't know how it would work for things like private purchase items.
Right.
Okay. Whereas sticking with that daemon, we know that that code is simpler and we have a very responsive upstream. And the rest of the points we covered are things that have pretty much no change either way. Does that sound like a fair summary?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
I think it would be really nice this cycle to provide an additional backend and have auto detection at runtime. Like if that thing is available, use it. If not, use Packagekit if it's available, and otherwise error. But assuming that most systems would have one or the other, and then approach other distros and asking, are you interested in working with this?
Since there wouldn't be direct benefits to Ubuntu from this, would it be reasonable to say, sure, we will accept changes that fixes that make that abstraction and that allow one or the other to work, but that you and Gary won't do it yourselves?
I mean, yeah, I guess,
Or is it something where you're reading about and dive into yourself?
I think we should at least start with it so that, we show that we want to go in this direction, and will probably not be perfect if we do it, but this way we demonstrate that we are willing to, to invest time and resources and energy in it. So it would be nice. If there is other high-profile stuff, but it would be nice.
Okay, so should we put on the list not for read of one, but for the...
Yeah, more likely.
Okay.
But yeah, and now's the time. If we wait half a year, we just have wrote a different UI that looks similar or maybe not. But if we want to have a chance of actually trying to engage as a distros, it's not easy.
Well, I mean, that's something,
Or what is your opinion on it?
Again, I don't know.
who use other similar systems, but and if they're helping us makes us both better, then great. But I don't think it's a good use of our time to just make them better and not us better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So I mean that's why I'm suggesting we could say, yep, patches welcome. We won't do it ourselves.
Yeah. What I said earlier is now is the time. In half a year, there will be decisions will have been made, and then SUSE or SUSE and Fedora will started writing their own UI, or probably started writing their own UI based on QMS, most likely.
Do you think it's likely that for example, a consumer would switch from using Packagekit to another?
So we're using a mix of Packagekit, a mix of something based on YAST from us, depending on what task we are trying to achieve. For the updates, for example, it's Packagekit. For the package installation, we use YAST. We definitely, in OpenSUSE, and I'm pretty sure that the desktop team at Fedora also agrees, we do want to have a tool that is focused on applications instead of package. And the software center is right now best UI. So people are looking at that. I don't know yet. We need to talk more with the relevant people to know if they will be willing to do a package configuration. It might be possible. If they don't want to do it, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, given that you all want to do, screenshots, upgrades and reviews, all this stuff, it seems like a waste of resources.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my personal opinion is that we should just work together and all that. That's my personal opinion. That being said, I'm probably not the person who will have time for that.
Right.
So, my opinion.
And there was a strong NIH
Yeah.
in all of the communities we have.
So yeah. I'll talk with some people next week at the Boston Summit because there will be the Fedora people.
So that sounds like a good action item. You talk to people and update, basically.
Yeah.
Give us feedback or have an IC meeting or whatever, so that we can talk about specific issues, and then we know at least I mean, Matthew is true. There is really not much interest in picking it as the front end, then there is not much incentive for us to actually.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is interest in using it as a front end. The main issue right now is what I said. It's not usable as of today on other systems.
That's true.
And for example, I think one point made by Richard was that for him it was definitely easier to start from scratch than to fix Software Center. I don't think it's completely right, but that's, he's a hacker. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's always easier to,
yeah, I know.
to write my own code than to look at different.
I definitely agree.
So.
I definitely agree. So, if only the fact of knowing that you guys are willing to have that, to accept it, and you're very much welcoming contributions for that, might change what I'm anticipating. That being said, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but
But I mean, that's great. Alright.
Okay. So yeah, I'll repeat what I said the last time we had this discussion at UDS, is that I don't want to hear when I specify something for any future version, or that would be possible without daemon, but it's not possible with Packagekit, right? So I don't want us to block on them, but at the same time, I guess the kind of record is for Vincent to talk with the OpenSUSE and Fedora people at the Boston Summit to see whether they're interested in reusing the framework, and if they are, then we will happily accept any changes to abstract out that layer and make it work with that deal. All right. Anything else that anyone wants to raise? No. Very good. We finished 20 minutes early. Thank you, everyone.